Hello, my name is Enos and welcome back to my channel. This is Work and Wonder. If this is your first time, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. And anytime I upload the video, you'll be notified and you will come straight here and take a look at whatever video that I have uploaded. I talk a lot about the mental health Osce, and today I'll be talking about the mental health Osce as usual. So today what I'll be talking about is the update with regards to the mental health Osce. I already have a video, but I still get a lot of people asking what are the new updates, what are the changes that did happen in the mental health Osce. So basically what I'll be doing is that I will be telling you about the changes that did happen in the mental health Osce. It's very, very simple. The changes took effect this September or just last month. So I'll just go straight to the point. This time around, I want my videos to be very, very short. So we just go straight to the point. So the mental health Osce, as you know, is 10 stations. So the 10 stations is still intact, and you need to pass all the stations in order to be classified as you have passed the Osce, or you are eligible for a PIN to practice in the UK as a mental health nurse. So you need to pass all the 10 stations. The API station is still intact, the skill station is still intact, and then the evidence-based and professional-based, or the professional values, is still intact. With the API, there were not much changes. What I have noticed is that when you look at the marking criteria, there was just a bit of changes to some of the marking criteria, but then basically it's still the same thing. For example, when we look at the assessment, there was, in the old marking criteria, you could see that they specifically talked about how you should sit, which is called the solar. So you are sitting upright, you are not crossing your legs, you maintain a very relaxed posture. But this time around, they've not really mentioned. They just talked about that you should be relaxed, and then they didn't talk about you not crossing your legs and all of that. But it's still basically the same thing. When we go to the planning, it's still the same thing, the 14 minutes. When we go to implementation station, it's still the same. And then when we go to evaluation, it's still the same. Now, the changes that really, the real changes that they did is in the skill station. We all know that you have 6 skills, and out of this you are going to get 4. It still remains 6, but this time around there was a skill station which is the suppository administration. This time around they have changed that to intramuscular injection. So there's no more suppository administration, but now it is what? Intramuscular injection. And they've also provided a marking criteria for that, and I think it's about 12 minutes. You have 12 minutes to finish your intramuscular injection, which is very, very simple. But the only thing that I found very weird about this intramuscular injection is the marking criteria that they gave. When you look at critically at the marking criteria, you would see that if you want to follow it religiously, then definitely you would end up failing. And I'm going to do a separate video on why I am saying this, because there are some things that you need to check out before you give an injection. But then when you read the marking card, it just tells you give the injection, and then when it comes down, then it's now talking about you checking for, you checking for the right dose, you checking for the right constitution and all of that, which I'll talk about in a very separate video. But what I will tell you is that when you are reading the marking criteria for the IM or for the intramuscular injection, you have to be very, very careful in terms of arrangement of what you have to do. They have kind of just it is not really organized, and I will show in that video why I am telling you this. But then just take it as if you are doing administration of tablets. Everything that you need to do or you need to check before you give that particular tablet, or you give in terms of implementation, you give those medications, it's just the same thing. Just that is this time around, this is just basically the route of administration that is different. And because of the route of administration changing in terms of IM, if you are going to give it in the gluteal or in the in the deltoid, basically wherever you're going to give it, you need to check to make sure that the place is safe for you to give it. It's just basically as that. I'll make a separate video on IM, and then I will let you know why I am saying this. Aside that, there is also another skill station which is de-escalation, which was in the previous one. It is still in the new one, but this time around you are actually going to do it. I'm somebody that has always advocated that de-escalation is something that they should allow us to do. In the previous one, you just go in, they give you the scenario on paper and then you write out your answers. So even though it was a skill station, but it wasn't procedural, you just have to write out. So it was more or less like a silent station. But this time around, it's no more a silent station. You have to actually do it. So de-escalation, as you know, is just basically about somebody that is angry, or a patient, not somebody, a patient that is angry, that is agitated, that is irritable about something in particular, and then you are the nurse on duty and you need to go in and de-escalate that particular person. This is a skill that I feel every mental health nurse should learn or should know, how to do, because on daily basis with your patient, you always have a patient who always escalate to a certain point, and then you will need to use your de-escalation skills, whether it is by verbal de-escalation. If verbal doesn't work and it gets to the point where you need to make use of restraints, prevention and management of aggression and violence, that's PMVA has to come in, then it has to come in. But in the exam situation, it's basically verbal de-escalation, which is just basically you talking to the patient to calm the patient down. So this time around, they give you the scenario, all right, but the patient is there who is angry, who is agitated, and then you need to demonstrate that skill of de-escalation, which is very, very important to the mental health nursing skill. So yes, this time around you have to actually do it. So in the skill station, these are just the two major things. Suppository being exchanged for intramuscular injection, and then of course the de-escalation, which used to be a written station, even though it was a skill station. Now it is actually a skill station, and you have to actually perform it for your assessor to see. Some situations your assessor can be the patient, and in some situations they can give you the patient. The patient would act as if they are angry, they are agitated, and you need to de-escalate the patient. So yes, these are just the two changes. When we go to the professional values and evidence, but it's still the same for everything. I'm still scrutinizing the marking criteria. I'm noticing some one or two change. And what I'm going to do next is that I also have a video where we look at the marking criteria in general, and then we look at what has changed as compared to the old one. I'm also doing a video on that, and that one I also uploaded. I'll upload it very, very soon. But the next video that I'll be uploading is obviously going to be on the IM, and then we are going to go through the marking criteria, and then we'll see how we'll be able to do that. Aside that, these are just basically the changes that has happened in the mental health nursing Osce. Aside this, there's nothing much. Still API station, assessment, planning, implementation, evaluation. You need to pass all. And then the skill station, we still have de-escalation, we have reminiscence therapy, we have talking therapy, we have nutritional assessment, we have physiological ops, and now we have intramuscular injection, which used to be suppository. So now suppository being replaced with intramuscular, which still makes it the 6, and out of this 6, you are going to get 4 out of this. Then you are now going to go to the professional values, and then the evidence base, which is 2. So 4 from API plus 4 from skills, which is 8. Then 1 from evidence base, 1 from professional values, making 10 stations. And you will need to pass all these 10 stations in order for you to be classified as you have passed your Osce. And then that would enable you to have a PIN, which you can use that to practice as a registered mental health nurse in the UK. Basically, that is it. That is all for this particular video. As I said, I'm trying to keep the video as short as possible. And then please make sure you subscribe to the channel. It is Work and Wonder. My name is Enos. And then I'll definitely see you in my next video. It is a bye for now.